A very good afternoon to you all. Thank you for joining us for the UBC Lunchtime News. My name is Wadulo Arnold, and today is the 23rd of August 2025. And without further ado, we're bringing you fresh stories. And the first one being experts in fish value chain having called for a harmonized regulatory framework across the East African community to unlock full potential of the region's fish value chain. Said this during a report dissemination event by the Kilimo Trust in Kampala. Researchers and stakeholders stressed that the urgent need for policy alignment to boost cross-border trade and reduce post-harvest losses is a prerequisite. Let's take a look.
Fish remains one of the most highly sought-after food commodities in the region, praised not only for its nutritional value, but also its economic significance. The World Health Organization recommends that every individual should consume at least 18 kilograms of fish annually. However, in Uganda, the average per capita consumption is mere 7 kilograms per year, far below the global standard.
Our target is that we should be able to produce 1 million metric tons by 2030. We are already in 2025. That means that we only have 5 years to really, and still, as we have only 5 years, we are currently only producing about 130, 120 metric tons, which is very, very low. And our per capita consumption of fish, what we eat, is very, very little.
I look at capacity building as the most important thing to put people in the perspective of post-harvest handling, and also you bring in on board the researchers to churn out high-quality fingerlings.
According to the report by Kilimo Trust, the fisheries sector contributes 3% of Uganda's GDP, but experts say the country could benefit even more, particularly if the issues around informal cross-border trade, which currently accounts for over 70%, are addressed.
Our study had two scenarios of if we left things as business as usual, and we projected for year 2030, what would happen to our economy, especially in job creation and growth of incomes of our citizens. In Uganda in particular, we've got to realize that by 2030, if we go by business as usual, in this case, not investing in aquaculture, and not regulating capture fisheries, and perhaps also not harmonizing standards and how to do business across the ESC, then perhaps we are just going to generate close to 185,000 additional jobs by 2030.
Inconsistent policy and fragmented regulatory systems across the East African community are hurting efforts to develop a robust fish value chain. Stakeholders now call on member states to adopt a harmonized regulatory framework that facilitates smoother trade, better quality control, and improved investment in the sector.
Address issues of quality. We have had and we have found out from the study that our traded fish, as much as it's not enough to satisfy demand, but it is also of poor quality, and therefore things on quality standards and phytosanitary standards are very, very key for us to be able to satisfy trade requirements.
Sada Mubale, UBC News, Kampala.
Researchers are calling for stronger community-based initiatives to protect Uganda's biodiversity, which is under increasing threat from human encroachment. This appeal was made during a training workshop for civil servants from key ministries involved in environmental protection. Let's take a look.
Uganda, like many African countries, is facing rapid encroachment on its natural ecosystems. This loss of biodiversity is not only threatening wildlife, but also contributing significantly to climate change.
So these are what we've been looking at. How do you negotiate with the communities so that communities are able to understand and then be able to protect? Because what we have found out actually is that community participation is key to protecting biodiversity and these national parks. What benefits do we get from biodiversity conservation?
In response, researchers are now calling upon government to adopt community-led approach in safeguarding and restore the country's rich biodiversity as key conservation efforts.
There are some values we get. There are some people who feel happy when they hear we have gorillas in Mount Elgon, in Machizon Falls and other areas. Just hearing that they exist. That is called non-use value, direct value.
Professor Edwin Muchapondwa from South Africa says the model has worked in other countries and can be adopted if communities well sensitized, empowered, and aware about the importance of protecting ecosystems.
Communities as a key stakeholder in biodiversity conservation, and the models that include communities have been implemented elsewhere, particularly in Southern Africa, with some reasonable successes. So even though there are some...
Uganda's Convention on Biological Diversity 2040 is to attain a green and clean environment, restoration of all degraded areas, and ensure effective conservation of all flora and fauna. According to trainees from the Ministry of Environment, the knowledge will help in realizing this vision.
Value addition when it comes to the national parks of the country. This training has really did a lot. One, it has broadened my insight on how, one, government being the stakeholder and the community who are around the parks can actually gain from basically the existence of the parks.
Department. Today's training has been very instrumental and very insightful. We have gained skills on how to make sure we evaluate the biodiversity we are losing as a country. These skills are going to help us as a research unit on what topics are first of all we're going to work on, and put this kind of evaluation in aspects of our researches.
Sada Mubale, UBC News, Kampala.
Untreated urinary tract infections, those are also known as UTIs, and sexually transmitted infections remain among the leading causes of infertility in women, mainly due to complications like blocked fallopian tubes. Medical experts are now raising concern over Ugandans against the increasing trend of self-medication, which they say often results in long-term complications. Let's take a look.
Despite Uganda recording one of the highest fertility rates in the region, with notable 15% infertility prevalence among women, this reality continues to present a major public health concern. The country's fertility rate has declined from 7 births per woman in 2002 to 4.5 in recent years, marking a 35% drop over the past 2 decades. While many attribute this decline to increased access and use of family planning methods, Dr. Del Mugisha, a gynecologist at Hilingwe Hospital in Bugolobi, offers a different perspective.
I would attribute it to the commonest reason for this infertility in the developing world is the blockage of tubes. And the commonest reason for the blockage of tubes is infections, STIs, which are treated wrongly or not for the right duration. You're using the wrong medication.
Health education is essential in equipping citizens with the right knowledge to make informed decisions. However, many still resort to self-medication, which can cause irreversible harm, especially when dealing with infections.
A lot of people, you took a medication for certain infection that you had, and then you keep on replaying it even when that infection is different. And so what happens is this infection then damages your tubes, and by the time you're coming in, the tubes are blocked and you're not able to conceive.
Self-medication brings a major problem. One, when you talk about antibiotics, because antibiotics are meant to kill specific bugs, and these bugs are alive, so they can change. So if you overexpose them unnecessarily to a given drug, they get used to it, or they change and start fighting it, and then you get what we call antimicrobial resistance. Right now, with technology, I know social media is now the new currency. There's information everywhere, but please verify. There's now even AI. So if you're feeling unwell, kindly see a professional.
This warning comes as Hilingwe Hospital prepares to launch a community medical camp aimed at bringing quality healthcare services to the people. The initiative will target a wide range of diseases and consultations.
We are going to serve the community. For that, you need to have enough manpower. You need to have the doctors, you need to have the medical clinical staffs, you need to have the all kinds sorts of support system, your pharmacies you should have. So already we have planned these things long back when we started this hospital.
We are saying prevention is better than cure, and the different levels of prevention, as you might know, from primary, secondary, tertiary.
This camp is beginning on the 25th of August, which is on Monday next week, until the 30th of August.
For couples struggling with infertility, doctors are also advising a more holistic and guided approach.
But they are now not able to conceive. What can we do about this? Among the services that we do here is preservation of gametes, preservation of the eggs and sperms. We do basically the full range of services to help a person to conceive. Anything that is related to fertility, we are able to do.
Medical experts emphasize that prevention, early treatment, and avoiding self-medication are key to reducing infertility cases in Uganda. Rebecca Nantongo, UBC News.
Thank you very much, Rebecca Nantongo, for that informative piece. In more news, the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development says that limited funding is hindering efforts to combat fuel adulteration and smuggling in Uganda. This was revealed during a fuel consumer awareness campaign in Mbarara City, southwestern Uganda, held at Igongo Culture Center. Let's take a look.
The Ministry of Energy, in partnership with the Uganda National Bureau of Standards, engaged stakeholders to work together in the fight against fuel adulteration and smuggling.
This is the stage we check for those vis-a-vis the documented standards. What do we require from the developer?
Assistant Commissioner Stephen Sigara noted that limited funds have slowed their capacity development to achieve 100% fuel quality monitoring.
But we are planning and budgeting to have more vehicles to cover the whole country within this financial year. So we expect more 2 vehicles to have the coverage increased to 100%. And we expect them in the first quarter of this financial year.
Fuel adulteration, particularly kerosene in petrol and diesel, has compromised fuel quality in Uganda.
Once the quality is at a standard to be acceptable, then a marker, a chemical is added at the border. We call it is like it is a tracer or an identifier. It is added. It is colorless, but we are able to test for it and know if it is reduces in concentration at any stage of supply.
The ministry's head of Petroleum Quality Assurance, Spero Byokunda, said that adulteration cases were at 30% in 2008-2009 when the fuel marking and quality monitoring program began.
But once we started this fuel marking and quality monitoring program, we are now at a very low percent of even adulteration. Actually, we are at 99% performance level. Smuggling and dumping are closely related because we are introducing into the country a product that has not paid the tax.
The ministry has attempted to reduce fuel smuggling, which is often facilitated by taxes collected in Mombasa before crossing the border.
The time we began this product, the rate of dumping was so much, and the rate of smuggling also was so much, especially around the lake areas of Lake Victoria, in areas of Mukono. But as we talk now, we have managed to almost wipe out those cases of dumping and smuggling of product.
Peter Chitimbo, supervisor of fuel marking and quality monitoring program, noted that their efforts have reduced adulteration rates thanks to mobile laboratories.
As we talk now, the vice is still there, but it's minimal, less than 1%. In terms of small pumps, we encourage those small pumps to acquire more land so that they meet the standard requirement.
However, some fuel dealers accuse the ministry and UNBS of not doing enough to address illegal small fuel pumps and those selling fuel in plastic bottles.
Mbarara district, I have 8 illegal small fuel pumps. They are 8 in number. I know their locations. I know the owners even.
These are pumps which you find in front of people's shops, which you find in the road reserve. They only serve fuel.
When I was looking through, to me, I thought you missed some other institutions which I think are crucial in enforcement, especially regarding to enforcement on environmental compliance.
And in a significant move to strengthen Uganda's health system, the Korea Foundation for International Healthcare, in liaison with Uganda's Ministry of Health, held a high-level workshop today in Kampala. The Korea-Uganda workshop on mid-term evaluation and the way forward in infectious diseases control brought together more than 60 participants, including senior government health officials, international health experts, and representatives from Korea's Yeongnam and Hanyang universities.
Since 2022, Korea Foundation for International Healthcare (KOFI) has been implementing a major project to strengthen Uganda's ability to prevent, detect and respond to infectious diseases, especially in central and southern regions. Achievements so far include renovated laboratories, newly established emergency operation centers, and improved epidemic response capacity nationwide.
In this KOFI ID project, after outbreaking occurred, the detection and notification and treatment, not treatment, just the response is increased in, especially in South Central region in Uganda.
Today's workshop marked a crucial midterm checkpoint where stakeholders reviewed progress, shared best practices, and planned the next steps to ensure long-term sustainability in the fight against infectious diseases.
Budget to actually carry out physical trainings at facilities. If the investments are really centered into community areas, into sustainable public health emergency management systems, then the resilience is likely to be held or be high.
Key topics included emergency preparedness, lab infrastructure, accreditation, and bilateral knowledge exchange between Uganda and Korea.
This is what do you want, okay? So while you are focusing on the at the input or output level, so if you can provide more kind of values or some impacts in quantitative terms or in quality terms, if you can provide that more scientific evidence or statistics, then they will might put them into their official record. They cannot.
We need to identify all these data gaps in between. Is it at regional referral level? Is it at district level? Because so when they identify these gaps, this is now when they will come up with innovative methods of improving systems in the ministry. Practical, not theory. Practical things that they have identified, and then when they come up with this, and then they will be supported to develop. Whether they are developing a prototype or an app or just a system change that can be supported to be funded to improve how we detect diseases, how we report, and then of course eventually how we analyze and make meaning out of data.
The event reaffirmed a strong partnership and a shared commitment to building a resilient health system that can protect communities from future public health threats.
As a South Korean government and Uganda's partner organization as a KOFI, we want to support in terms of operation as well as the more sophisticated and more state-of-art techniques which Korea has been able to utilize in our country. But of course,
with continued collaboration, Uganda and Korea are paving the way for a safer and healthier future. Charity Marion Imnat and Christopher Buyondo for UBC.
In more news this afternoon, the Ugandan Embassy in Washington has launched a major training program in Kampala aimed at boosting Uganda's exports to the United States. The 6-day workshop is equipping 100 local artisans with the skills to meet international market standards. We have a detailed report.
Training from August 18th to 23rd of 2025, organized by the Uganda Mission in Washington, is equipping African artisans with the skills in product development, finishing and market trends. Backed by the Economic and Commercial Diplomacy Fund, the program aims to boost the export potential of African craft and souvenirs.
It is a pleasure and an honor to be here with the artists and artisans of Uganda. I am here at the request of the ambassador to the United States from Uganda, Ambassador Rabi, who is forward-thinking and aware that arts and crafts are the way of the future for Ugandan craftspeople.
Uganda exports to the US have grown from under 10 million in the late 90s to nearly 90 million in 2022. Driven by coffee, vanilla and specialty goods. Now focus shifts to the crafts as the next frontier.
I do string art using strings and wood and nails to create beautiful artwork. And the reason that I am here is to gain more knowledge and skills in what I am doing. So from this workshop, what I have gained is a lot of wisdom, really. A lot of wisdom. I've met people that have what I require on my next level, people that have information concerning materials that are indigenous to Uganda.
The training is facilitated by the US-based expert, Elaine Robnett Moore, who says the focus is on aligning Ugandan products with global demand.
But the bark cloth is amazing because it's so beautiful and it turns out to be perfect for products like computer covers, iPad covers, Galaxy covers, all of that. I have purchased one to take back that I will carry with pride, and all of my people back in the States will be just, it's your product.
Officials say the initiative will not only strengthen Uganda's cultural exports, but also improve livelihoods and position the country as a strong player in the global creative economy. I'm Bantu Machabe Semambo for UBC.
In a major boost to Uganda's environmental conservation efforts, Uganda Breweries Limited has committed over 370 million Ugandan shillings to restore the Namananga Central Forest Reserve in Buyikwe district. The initiative, launched in partnership with the National Forestry Authority and Rotary Uganda, will see the planting of 80,000 indigenous trees over a span of time.
Namananga Central Forest Reserve is a key ecological corridor linking Mabira Forest, the country's largest natural forest, to the Musamya Swamp. Over the years, this reserve has been heavily degraded due to logging, charcoal burning and encroachment from pineapple farming. Now, through a 372 million shilling investment, Uganda Breweries Limited, in collaboration with the National Forestry Authority and Rotary, is taking a stand for the environment. The project will plant 8,000 indigenous trees to rehabilitate degraded sections of the 459-hectare reserve. It builds on previous UBL conservation efforts, including forest restoration in Butambala and the national-wide Running Out of Trees campaign.
Uganda Breweries and the National Forest Authority. The Namananga Reserve plays a vital role as part of the Mabira ecosystem. Mabira is more than just a forest. It is living, breathing heart of Uganda within the central region, touching Lake Victoria, stretching through Buikwe, Kayunga, Jinja and Mukono districts. This reserve serves as a catchment area for the Nalwe and Ugula streams and forms an important link between Mabira Forest and Musamwa swamps. Sadly, this reserve has faced severe deforestation.
According to the Global Forest Watch, Uganda's forest cover rose from 9.5% in 2015 to 13.3% in 2024. Stakeholders in the forest conservation say projects like this are crucial to sustaining that positive trend.
A place called Kabale, Kigezi. When many of us were young, it used to be called the Switzerland of Africa. they had trees. It was cold. There was no malaria because malaria cannot survive in such an environment. Because of overpopulation, trees were cut down. Global warming set up. Malaria set in. People die in thousands.
2030, what do we contribute to the waters? When we do the forests, we try to explain the science of oxygen and carbon dioxide. We didn't explain the science of transpiration, the water cycle. It is through these forests that we are able to put back water into the rivers and be able to benefit from it.
This is a commendable effort that not only protects biodiversity, but also supports Uganda's climate resiliency. Uganda Breweries now joins a growing list of private sector actors taking real action against deforestation. I'm Bantu Machabe Semambo and then Sigowa for UBC.
Big thing about the MTN Super. Wali yakapia musite wali yakapia. MTN kabo de super mustairompia. Then you kabo de smartphone nebi yakabibiona. MTN kabo de super mustairompia. Then you kabo de smartphone nebi yakabibiona.
Get the new Kabode Super smartphone and enjoy 16 GB free. Start with a deposit of only 45,000 Uganda shillings and pay the rest mpora in daily installments of less than 1K. You can also make weekly and monthly installments. Together, our vibes are unstoppable. Terms and conditions apply. MTN. MTN is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
The Namunkekera Industrial Trade Show and Bazaar is back. Bigger, better, and bolder. Brought to you by Namunkekera Rural Industrial Center and Operation Wealth Creation under the theme Driving Industrialization for Sustainable Growth. From Thursday 28th to Saturday 30th August 2025 at the amazing Liaoshen Industrial Park, Kapeka. Chief guest is General Salim Saleh, Chief Coordinator of Operation Wealth Creation. Entrance is 2,000 shillings per day. Are you a business owner, school administrator, or someone who loves to support local products? This is your event. Enjoy crazy discounts on quality items from Liaoshen Industrial Park and other authentic Ugandan exhibitors from across the country. Stylish fashion garments, shoes and bags, sleek mobile phones and electrical appliances, beautiful ceramics, tiles, durable agriculture tools and equipment, mouth-watering dried mangoes and pineapples, plus so much more. Don't miss performances from Uganda's top artists. To exhibit, call Kapeka, the center for all your quality products.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukota Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the 1st floor.
At UNOC, we believe in safety.
Welcome back to still watching the UBC Lunchtime News, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. With only a few days after traders demonstrating high tax rates, the Uganda Tax Agents Association have inaugurated their new board to help handle tax-related issues. They say that they hope to bridge the gap between the tax body and the taxpayers.
Uganda Tax Agents Association's leaders clarified that their role is not to fight the tax collector, but rather to create transparency and ease in tax payment for both the tax body and taxpayers.
Our duty is to bridge the gap between the taxpayer and the tax administrator. And then also, one of the things which have not come out clearly is also to advise government policies. Advise government. This will go a long way in protecting investors' interest.
And our major role is to make sure that the taxpayer pays the right tax and the collector collects the right tax. Those are at one point people look at us as if we are fighting the tax collectors. No, that's not our main purpose. You know, a businessman, yes, does the business, doesn't have time to sit down and compute what tax is supposed to do. Yes, there are accountants who help them to compute their figures. But when it comes to tax, there are so many things you have to look at. How is this person running his business? What does he go through?
They say that there is a lot of tax awareness needed to be understood by most taxpayers.
But yeah, we still feel there is a lot of investment required in tax education, and we feel we are going to contribute to educating the public on tax and tax policies and principles.
UTA further dismisses any claims of charging exorbitant fees when helping the taxpayer.
If I give you an example, if you come to me as a tax agent and your records are proper, and my duty is just to tell you that from your accounts you have brought to me, your profit is 100 million and your tax is 30 million. Where do I need to charge you a lot of money? We agree, you tell me, but mine, I brought you records which are clear. But now, some people come, they bring us a dead body to do post-mortem. You've been in business for 7 years. Your has knocked on your door. Then you run to me. Now tell me, how much am I going to charge you? Because for us, we sell brains. It's not a commodity that is in the shelves. And we sell time. So the time I'm going to spend on your case is the one we'll charge you.
With 3 years of existence but no active leadership, the Uganda Tax Agents Association has officially formed its active board. I am Marion Awori, UBC.
And that brings us to the end of our lunchtime news. But do remember, today Uganda is facing off with Senegal at the Mandela National Stadium. So do cross your fingers and also pray for our team members to be in the best of shape. And we also do implore you to check out La Vie Boutique on Grand Imperial Hotel, shop 6 and 8, just behind Bank of Uganda, for all your men's wear in casual and official. Have yourselves a lovely afternoon.